So an organization needs to be clear about its purpose. I understand that. How does it go about realizing it?
That is the right question, Lynette, and that brings us to the second board duty, planning. Until a board has a plan to fulfill its lofty goals, it is just playing intellectual games. Planning should be reality-based and vision-driven, said Richard Celeste, former Ohio governor, when we served together on the Habitat for Humanity International Board. Planning is simulation. It identifies what needs to happen before other things can happen. Planning anticipates what will be required. It is putting the mile markers in place, making it possible to measure progress. Planning is dynamic. President Eisenhower said, "The plan is nothing. Planning is everything." Circumstances may require plans to change, but always activity should be guided by a plan. Finally, planning involves delegation, fixing responsibility. Who is responsible to achieve the agreed-upon goals?
Can you be more specific? What is the board's role in the planning process?
First, a board must plan its own governance activities. This includes goal setting and evaluation. It involves making provision for succession. I suggest that the board should have a calendar which distributes its duties across the whole year. As pertains to the all-important program planning process, we begin by recalling that the board's focus is on what, that is, what is to be done, leaving staff to decide how. Remember lesson 1? Before turning the annual program planning assignment over to staff, or before it launches into this important assignment itself if it has no staff, the board lays the groundwork in several ways. By reviewing the vision and mission statements, what should we be doing? By evaluating what is working, not working, what appears to be winding down. By reviewing priorities, what activities should be increased, decreased. Ease out the tired, make room for the new. This is how good programs get better. By establishing the parameters within which staff is free to plan, for example, budgetary guidelines. Within this context, staff recommends for board approval an annual program plan, complete with stated outcomes and an itemized budget. The board can make changes to the recommended plan. It has the final responsibility. Once the board approves the plan, it is delegated to staff for implementation. Young, small organizations are less formal about their planning, but even they will benefit by breaking into their routine to annually review progress and agree on specific targets.
It takes a few years, doesn't it, to get into this planning routine? But I can see how it can increase our effectiveness. I'm amazed at how many organizations have no plans. They just go from year to year. I can also see where this two-step planning routine furthers the partnership between board and staff. We're in this together. Now tell me, how does the plan get implemented?
First, I talked about what. We just finished talking about how. Now I address who. Who is responsible for plan implementation?